With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
What's happening, everybody? We're back for another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football. Today we're heading back to the glory days of fantasy dominance and drafting running backs from the 2010s. It's going to be a collaborative style draft, so we hopefully work together, but I doubt that'll happen. Of course, it's me, Brian. We've got Brennen here, my co-host, and Chuck, the fantasy menace on Twitter. He's got Spreadsheet Nerds data and stand-up comics delivery. He's always right, even when he's wrong. Chuck Bass in the building, everybody.
Good to be here. I've got my my list on my lunchbox or my to-go box for who we got to be drafting today. I'm ready to rock.
Hell yes. And of course, we're going to be working together here in this draft. We're going to be going through the top 13 2010 running backs. We're going to start at the bottom, work our way to the top. We're about to divvy out the pick selections to who goes where, but I think we're good to go. Brennan, you ready to roll?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited to do this. So
Abso-freaking-lutely. We've only talked about it for a couple months now.
I know.
All right, let's get this spinner going. See who gets the choices of the picks. And do we treat the guest right? No, we don't. It's going to be Brennen. Do you want drafter slot A, B, or C?
Give me the number. Which one has like the number one pick overall?
A
like
will have 1,
A.
4, 7, and 10.
Give me
there
A.
it goes. All right. We're going to spin this
Ooh,
bad
alpha,
boy.
alpha move. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Assert dominance.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Dude, I don't think so.
Oh,
man. Gotta freaking love it. So I'm going to go ahead and take... I'm going to take drafter C. We're going to stick you in the middle, Chuck. We're going to make you the nice meat of our draft sandwich here.
Yeah, the drafting spots. I get it.
It's the best spot. You give and you get.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Alrighty, let's slide over here, get our draft board up and ready. Get everybody rocking and rolling. And, I mean, hey, I'm pumped here. I know I picked the bottom slot, so I will be picking 3, 6, 9, 12, and 13. So I've got back-to-back picks. So I almost feel like y'all can't do shit about it. Like, I'm locked in to get at least these bottom two players where I want. And really, what we're saying best running back. Is this best overall season? Is this best season overall? We really don't have a consensus, so it's going to get madness here. I'm going to bring up my first guy I want, and I'm going to go Devonta Freeman. Came out of nowhere with that first season. He had 3 top 10 finishes, and I just think I want to make sure that he gets on the board, despite not necessarily having the sexiest of names.
Can I just veto off the rip?
What? Is this you want him higher? You don't want him on the board at all?
I don't want him on the board at all. Like, you talking 2010 running backs from 2010 to now, and you say Devonta Freeman as the 13?
Absolutely. He had 3 top 12 finishes, including a 1 overall. Where'd you get him in ADP? Nothing. He was nothing.
All right. I mean,
this is where it gets really tricky because a lot of guys on this list only had 3 or 4 year runs, and he had a pretty damn good 3 or 4 year run there.
Yeah. My tier 4, my bottom players that I have, they're all sitting there with 2 and 3 great seasons. So it's kind of like me spinning the wheel here, trying to figure it out. But I'm going to go with Freeman. Do we got a veto on it?
No, I'll let it pass.
You gonna save that veto? You want to use it right now?
Thank you, because I didn't want to use my override. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Alrighty, so that's 13. We've got Devonta Freeman in there. This one hurts me a little bit, sticking him here. I feel like it's a disgrace to put him all the way down here. But this guy's best season wasn't quite in this 2010 to 2019 range. He had 3 great ones coming right after. But CJ2K, we got to go Chris Johnson, get him on this list. A great 2010, 2011, 2012. So CJ2K is where I'm going here.
Dang, his best
I
season.
have to stand by it.
His best season was 2009, though.
I know. He had three great seasons following it, though.
He did. I will give you that. All right.
This is a huge part of it because we're this list on top of having guys that had good seasons. We need brand names. We need nostalgia. We need throwbacks, and there's not 5 guys that are going to have that more than CJ2K. So I'm with you on this.
Looks like we got our first 2 locked in, Devonta Freeman and Chris Johnson at their pick 13 and 12. But yeah, we got number 11, last guy before we hit the top 10. Chuck, it's your pick. Who you got? Who you putting there?
Guys, sometimes we just went with a sexy brand name pick, right? We just went with a home run hitter, a guy that got fantasy managers wet anytime he was on the field. I'm going with the opposite. Give me Lamar Miller, running back, Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans. He had the 10th most points of any running back in the league from the 2010s through the 2019 season. I think we got to go with a grinder here, a guy who can get you 4 yards but could never get you 5. Lamar Miller.
Oh my God, that's a name. What a poll by Chuck here. Like I want to veto it, but like, holy, like, because the guys I have on my list, I'm just like, Lamar Miller is not even a thought. So
he's just like the definition of a plotter. Like he was never great, but he was never bad. And he was just always eking out these like RB8, RB11, RB12, RB14 seasons, but he was always there, always in the mix.
All right. I mean, I respect it.
Guys, don't be shy on me. Don't be shy on me because I'm the guest. If you want to drop the hammer, drop the hammer.
I kind of want to veto, man. Like, because like Lamar Miller doesn't deserve the respect of some of these other names. Like,
you've got 2 vetoes. You are the rocking 2 vetoes. So.
I got a veto. Lamar Miller was good, but this is like we're talking like guys that we loved, and no one loved Lamar.
This is one of my proudest moments in history that I've ever had on a podcast. Is serving up Lamar Miller and getting dunked on immediately. Feels great.
Well, hey, you can always put him back.
So it's up to me to come up with a sub, right?
Oh God.
You said what?
See what you've done? You see what you've done now?
I have.
So I get another pick, right?
Yeah, you got to pick the next player for the 11th spot.
All right, I'm going to take a guy who only had a few seasons in this decade, but they were some damn good ones. Let me get some Alvin Kamara in there, a guy who most of his, early renaissance, or renaissance is the wrong word, early domination came. I think his career has gone on a little bit longer than people really realize because he gets caught in that 2017 class that was just epic and legendary, right? McCaffrey, Fournette, Chris Carson, James Conner, all these guys that were just incredible. Dalvin Cook. Kamara, I'll take him. He didn't have that much production in the decade. Most of it was pretty split. Feels like a nice spicy pick.
He was on the fence for me. Only having 2 great seasons before we get out of the 2010s. He was definitely one of those players that was on the fence for me, though. Yeah. Brennen, you okay with it?
No, I'm okay with it because like he scored like almost 40 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons. Like he was elite. Like I think people forget that. Like he's a part of that 2017 draft class. Like I think he was the offensive rookie of the year, if I'm not mistaken, out of that draft class. So like, no, I respect it. He was going to be my next one up. So I'm all for it.
And with Chuck picking Lamar Miller and then Kamara, everybody, he is saying that these 2 players are the exact same. They are equal. So make sure you come after him for the love between the 2.
They have brought me equal amounts of joy, and they've lost me equal amounts of money. So there's push and pull with all these guys.
100%. All right, Brennen, you are starting off the top 10. We are now into serious business. No messing around. No more Lamar Millers. Where are we going with that first pick of yours?
I have a few guys, but make sure like some of these guys like get the respect, dude. Because like I'm gonna go with a pick that I think everyone can agree with. I'm gonna go with DeMarco Murray. I think 3-time Pro Bowler, 2014 Offensive Player of the Year. Came out of the gate hot for his rookie year with the Cowboys. Had, I think it was over 200 yards rushing that first game, and ever since then it was safe and productive throughout this decade. So I got to put DeMarco Murray there.
Yeah, took the greatness all the way to Tennessee, gave us one final season there, finished the number one running back in, 2016, 2014.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And I think he gets lost in history because I think people really only think of that great year that he had with Dallas, when in reality he had I'm going to keep referring to the fantasy points here. He had the 7th most fantasy points of any running back in the whole entire decade. I mean, and to do it on 3 different teams,
I'm okay with it. I think he deserves to be on this list, but where we are already coming into pick 9, I'm like, I got 10 guys that need to be on this list, and we have only got 9
That's
picks.
what I'm saying. I had some other guys too. He was right there on that cusp.
We might be sandwiching some fools here. Oh,
Yeah.
man. All righty.
hard cuts. That's what it's all about, baby. We have to make big decisions.
Oh, God, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. All right, I guess we've got no...
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
We're not vetoing there on DeMarco Murray there, Chuck. You good with that?
I'm gonna let it stand just because I think this will be the last time DeMarco Murray's mentioned on a podcast for maybe the rest of the year.
Probably not wrong.
I'd put my money on that one.
Yeah, I would too. Same with Lamar Miller.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes, I love it.
We're definitely going to put him in the descriptions, that hashtag there. I'm sure that's a
Everyone's
trending
just
one.
like, what is going on here?
All righty, number 9. I'm in a pickle because I got a guy in my tier 3 that's not going to make it in here, and it just feels insulting. So I think we're going to roll the dice, and I'm going to put him in here anyway. A guy that just jumped onto the scene there in 2015 out of nowhere, gave us 3 top 10 finishes, including one of the best finishes of all in this decade. It's Arizona running back David Johnson.
Ooh,
Man, this is a toughie for me because I'm gonna have to think about this because there just really wasn't that much production overall. But at one season, those 18 months when he was coming out of that 2015 season into 2016 was maybe some of the best time of the whole decade. So I'm going to have to think about this one.
Yeah, 2016, there's only one other performance in this decade that was better than his, and that was the Christian McCaffrey performance. But yeah, 2016, 1,200 yards rushing, 800 through the air, 80 receptions, 20 total touchdowns, averaging over 20 points a game. It's hard for me to boot him from this list.
Yep.
I mean, he had one really great season. He had a few other good seasons. And then I don't recall, he burned everybody in 2018, right? When he broke his hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Broke his forearm or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then basically he just ruined your season. So like, I think a lot of people are going to see that name being like, I hope he just stubs his toe every morning.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey did the same thing to us.
Yeah, but Christian McCaffrey has been consistent after that too. So besides last year, because that's a San Francisco not telling you.
David Johnson only had 20 more points in the decade than Lamar Miller. So how do we parse it here? How do we parse this out?
I guess Lamar Miller's got to come up next. Then is what I'm hearing.
No, God, no. I really don't want to use another veto again because I don't trust Brian.
You know what? I just I do think that this list is going to be split into maybe 3 or 4 different categories, right? Guys who were who were top 5 running backs for most of their time, guys who hit the highest highs like a David Johnson, and then guys who were just like unicorn highlight reel players. And I think we need to have a good mix of them for the list. And this might be our hit the highest of the mountaintop guy.
There was a couple others that are up there. I'm like, I think David Johnson's got a better chance of making the list. So it's kind of the same thought process I was having on him.
I just can't believe.
Yeah, and you're avoiding the downside years.
Of course, we don't talk about those. 2015, 16, 18 was great. 2017,
He's like the Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts for like running backs,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay.
Like it's
Okay.
just
This
like
is a
the
running
one
back
that-
episode. Don't you
I
slander
know.
Kyle Pitts on the show.
I'm just saying, like it's just like this elite
Oh,
season.
SEO is about to tank.
Oh man. Well, it sounds like the vetoes are staying in the
Beautiful.
pockets. I think David Johnson's going to sit here at 9.
I gotta wait because you got 2 more picks, Brian. So I want to make sure you don't do any tomfoolery after this.
Look, we should be locking in here. We're going into the top 8. I feel like there's a very consensus top 8. We're on the game page here, folks.
Yeah,
Lock
Brian,
in.
you've had 3 picks and 2 of them have been bad. So
All right, that's punting back to me now.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
you're coming back here. Your second pick, number 8. Who do we have?
All right, I'm gonna take the guy I thought David Johnson would be, the guy who took the mantle from David Johnson and who really just stole our hearts, and then he was out of our lives before we could even sober up. Running back, L.A. Rams, Todd Gurley.
I respect it. I
had Gurley a lot higher.
I just think he had a lot high. See, that's where it gets tricky because he had 2 of the greatest seasons of the decade. He had a very good rookie season that I believe he was running back 4. And then it was kind of just over. And it was over before we could even say goodbye.
Interesting. He was tier 1 for me. I had 5 guys in my tier 1, and he was up there.
He was number 7 on my list, so he's 8. So I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
But is Gurley the hill I want to die? Because I've only got...
And this is where if Gurley had had that 2020 Falcon season in 1 year prior, I think maybe that would have been enough for me to get it up in there. Not that was a great year, but it just it was adios amigo before I was and maybe I'm just not over it.
Yeah, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to save that one veto I have. Not all of us are sitting here flush with vetoes like Brennen. Chuck and I just rocking the 1, but I'm going to hold on to my veto, but I'm just going to put my stamp here. I want Gurley higher.
Yeah. He had less points than DeMarco Murray, even though the margin was not very strong, but Murray did have a lot more games played.
Brennan, you cool with it? We leaving
I'm cool
Gurley
with
at
it.
8?
Gurley was 7 for me, so like he was going to be the next person said. So
you could veto it, and then you can get him at 7.
I know because I got to worry about you. You said Devonta Freeman as the first start of the name, so like I now have to clutch my pearls to make sure that your next 2 picks are actually worth it.
Come on, Devonta Freeman was fun. He was fun. Fine. All right, we got Gurley locked in there at 8.
They were calling Devonta Freeman Fantasy Jesus. That was a thing. I think that alone is just got to get the name brand in there.
Absolutely.
Again, oh, it just hurts.
Well, tell us who you think needs to be in this top 7 then. Let's go to the 7th pick, Brennan. Who do you got?
So this is a nostalgia pick for me. Like, right when I started playing fantasy like 2008, and I just remember this guy was just always like, he was always like everyone wanted him just because he was so good on both sides of the ball, running and catching. I mean, had over 9,000 rushing yards, 4,000 receiving yards in the decade, 102 receptions in 1 season. One of the best dual threat backs of this era. It's Matt Forte. Matt Forte needs to be on this list.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Oh man, Matt Forte needs to be on this list, but is this the most disrespectful ranking we've had of any of these guys so far? My heart is pounding like crazy right now, guys. I feel like the cops are about to pull me over just because we have Matt Forte at 7.
Yeah, it gave us 4 top 10 finishes over that time period, 13, 14, or 10, 13, 14, and 15. Just the receptions, the receiving yards. It was just, you couldn't beat it.
No.
You could not beat it.
And those were fun times for the Bears with him, Jay Cutler, like Brandon Marshall. Like that was a fun team.
Supposed to be good too.
Yeah.
All right. It brings me no pleasure to do this, but I got a veto. I got to drop my veto right here.
Oh my goodness. All right. He better be up there then. Damn it.
I thought about it, and I'm looking at the data right now, and I'm looking at only one running back in the entire NFL had more fantasy points than Matt Forte in this decade. I have to put some respect on his on what he did for our pockets, fellas.
All right. It doesn't hurt me that you vetoed him because all 3 of us can acknowledge he deserves to be on this list. It needs to be higher. So I'm going to put a guy on here then who deserves to be on this list because I was struggling between him and Matt Forte. So I'm going to put a guy who had a split timeshare and was still elite. 2 All-Pro
Ooh.
selections, led the NFL in yards per carry in multiple seasons, a career high of 5.4 yards per carry. It's Jamal Charles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the fact that he
That is a
wasn't
home
even
run.
he wasn't a bell cow. Yeah, like he had a split time with another running back. Like, it's Jamal Charles deserves to be on this list. So
That was my next pick. If Forte sat there, it was going to be Jamal Charles.
oh, thank goodness we had to veto it. So
This
Maybe I
is
shouldn't have given you the
this
two
is
vetoes.
nostalgia lane right here. Matt
Exactly.
Forte right into Jamal Charles. Do you know how many white guys are about to be brought to tears just through watching this podcast?
Right.
it's just like when all the boys get together and have some beers and you start randomly naming off some names and you're just like, we do this all the time in my group chat
Oh,
text.
yeah.
Like, my boy was just like, yo, Captain Munnerlin. And I'm just like, what a name. Like, what a poll. Like,
Oh man, we're just going to be pulling on the heartstrings today.
exactly.
Yeah, that 2013 season with like 250 touches and he still had 20 touchdowns. Like, just unreal conversion rate between the two.
Oh boy, Jamal Charles, great pull. Probably. Do you think we'll ever see a Jamal Charles type again? Somebody who is that efficient with that little workload?
No.
Achane was going to be close.
Yeah, it's tough because like
Yeah,
was
that's
just
a good call. That's a good
he
pull.
was so fast. Like watching his highlight tapes and just seeing like how quickly he can get to the outside and his cuts and everything else like that. It's just like I think he was a one of one. I think it's so hard to beat that.
You know, Patrick Mahomes is sitting there and watching film. You're like, damn, if they could only get me a running back like this, you know?
Yeah, except he picked Clyde Edwards
I know.
Nathan Taylor.
I mean, he's not picking him anymore. He just wants him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's that
No, Isaiah Pacheco is honestly like he tries to be, when you watch him run, he tries to play like Jamal Charles, but it's like he's missing chromosomes.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here, and you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
Order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And yet he didn't perform out there with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a tough look.
All right, we're in a pickle. My tier one, like I said, I have 5 guys in my tier one, and then I've got 3 guys that are in my tier 2, and I've only got 1 pick to choose. So I really don't know what to do. Looking at the time here, I think I could just, talk it out, do a little banter back and forth, and just figure out a way to fill this time without actually having to make a pick. Because this one, he's going to yell at me. He's going to yell at me during the pod and then after. I know it.
You picked Devonta Freeman to start this off, of course.
Look.
I don't know what to tell you.
He was firmly at my 13 spot. I'm like, look, they're going to pick the other 12 guys I want. So I've got the luxury of putting Freeman here at 13. Can I go back and change it? Can we go back and veto that?
Dude, I wish.
I wish. Well, way to go, Brennen. If you only would have used your veto. Shit. Do I put Matt Forte here?
Toughie.
Or do I?
Hey, man, I had Forte, I had Charles right behind Forte. So, like, I'm okay if you put Matt Forte here. I couldn't oppose to it.
Well, I'm not going to. We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot. We're going to go Colts fans here up at the top. So we know of players that have given us problems. We know guys that just gave us issues left and right. And this guy did, surely, of course,
Yep.
right as Andrew Luck was supposed to be taking us to the promised land. Arian Foster for the Houston Texans.
Beautiful.
Those first 4 years there was amazing. One of the top overall finishes of the decade that he also had. This guy was the dual threat while also giving us 1,200 yards on the ground all 4 of those seasons. Finished number 1 overall, 2 overall, 4 overall, and 5 overall. It's hard to fade him a little bit, even when I've got Matt Forte sitting there. So give me Arian Foster.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 2010, he came out of the gate with like over 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. Like he was definitely going to be, he definitely deserved to be on this list. I was just curious like where it was going to be. So I'm okay with him being here. I kind of want to, just got to make sure someone else gets on this list though. Chuck.
Yeah, no pressure. Hey,
Yeah.
both of y'all have
Well,
two
this
picks.
this is I love this pick because I think this is kind of like were there other running backs in the NFL that were catching passes at an elite rate before Arian Foster? Yes. But did he popularize it for our generation? Absolutely. This is when being able to target guys who were elite pass catchers and they were used running routes down the field, not just in the screen game, not just in the dump off game, catching bombs. I will never forget highlight after highlight of Matt Schaub throwing 20, 30, 40-yard touchdown passes to Arian Foster, who's just running wheel routes out of the backfield. I miss those days.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
They're gone. They're gone. Well, maybe not.
It was a good run.
No vetoes here. We're holding on to Arian Foster.
I'm cool with Arian Foster here. He deserves to be on this list.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, you got 2 picks left. You got number 2 and number 5. We're opening up the top 5. Very crucial. Easily could be fucked up. So, where do we go?
Okay, good. All right. So, guys, I'm going to close the door here on this Matt Forte veto that I opened up, and let's slide him in. He doesn't need to go any higher, but he sure as hell can't go any lower.
Yep.
I need some Matt Forte in my life. He's just too damn good. He was too important. New York Jets running back Matt Forte.
We got a pickle. We've got a pickle now.
There's no pickle, Brian. There's no pickle. There's literally no pickle.
Oh, man.
Everybody loves a pickle.
I will veto
Everybody
your
loves
veto.
a pickle until you're in one.
Yeah.
It's in you. God. All right. I love the Matt Forte pick. I love him being on this list. I really think he needs to be here, but I'm sweating with 4 picks left, and I got 6 guys that I really want on here.
Who's the least attractive? That's the one who goes off. That's the one who goes off the list.
I mean, they're all pretty handsome fellas, so I don't know if I can go off attraction. I might have to go back into the running stats here to really figure it out.
All right. So I have one guy. Well, so there's 2 guys here, and I'm hoping the other one, if I pick this person, the other one gets selected, because this one here, he's Iron Man. We know him as Iron Man. He's been I think he missed only 1 season due to a broken hip. But other than that, I considered him one of the best running backs of our time watching him. It's Frank Gore, Frank the Tank Gore.
There it is.
He's got to be on this list.
This was one that when we started this exercise, I thought maybe he would go higher, and I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I think this is the perfect ranking for him. He was never worse than the 4th running back in the league, but he was probably never better than it either. But, dude, he was that number 4 running back for about 10 years.
Exactly. He was never like the best one, but he was always just there. He was always in the top 10, whatever the case may be. He was just consistent. He's the definition of consistency. The bridesmaid, never the bride.
Nobody ever wanted him in fantasy either.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wanted to draft him, but they were happy once the week 7 rolled around.
Yep.
I'm in that boat right now because I don't want to draft him. I don't want him on this team. I don't want him on the team. I am flexing the veto here. Look, I am not besmirching the Frank Gore greatness, the longevity we got from the man. But when we're talking about some of the finishes here, when we're talking about top 12 finishes, the 3 that we look at from this decade for him were 11, 11, and 12. I have 4 other guys that blow those numbers out of the water. Mr. Franklin Gore, I loved you on the Colts. I loved what you did for my fantasy teams, but you are not making this list because somebody put Devonta Freeman on the bottom. But I got to veto it, man. I got to pull him.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget here, override, busting it out, hitting you with the Uno reverse card real quick. Frank Gore, there's no way Frank Gore is getting off this list. Not in my house. Not my car.
Get out of here, Brian. Guess what? Everyone can be a bridesmaid. Not everybody can be a bride, all right? Jesus, leave them alone.
God, I will tell you, I do this type of draft on my other podcast, and I have been veto override, I think, on every freaking one I've hosted.
Hey, it's me.
I mean,
I'm the problem.
The guy's got a son who's already playing in the NFL. If that's not testosterone levels alone, I don't know what else is.
Oh man! All right. Well, we're gonna have a discussion then once we get these last 3 up here because I don't know what to do when it comes to some of these players that are gonna be sitting on the bench.
I still have my veto, Brian, so better make it count.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
I'm going to get Ray Rice on this list. Don't you worry. He's going to come in swinging.
Boy, that should have been 13.
All right. Franklin Gore gets number 4. My last pick, the number 3 overall pick. Yep. We're going to go Marshawn Lynch. We're going to go beast mode here. I got him, put him up here. He had 4 seasons in the top 5 that he gave us there from 2011 to 2014. Finished 3, 4, 4, and 5 in that time period.
I'm gonna veto right now.
What the hell?
There is 3 guys left that deserve to be on this list, and he is not one of them.
No, there are
you
5
had a
guys.
chance. Okay, you had a chance to have Marshawn Lynch at 13, 12, 9.
I thought it was too low. It was too low. He needed to be in my top 5.
No, there's 3 guys here that are left.
Oh, man. You just got overrode and then vetoed back to back.
Look, we're on the goal line to win the Super Bowl, and we could just hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, but you're trying to throw it.
But what happened? Did he win it? Did he win the Super Bowl or not?
They didn't give him the damn ball. They threw the pick.
Because they didn't trust him. He clearly wasn't worth it. So I'm going to do the same. Call me Pete Carroll.
Damn, that guy cannot get away. This is the 10-year anniversary of that play. So you know what? I get it.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to do a little pivot here then.
Wow.
It's like I come prepared. I know who I want to pick, and y'all just say no.
Mm-hmm.
You just say no. All right. Well, I'm going to do a guy that he came into the league hot. He started off great, finishing number 2 his rookie season, and then just exploded for the next final 4 years in this decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? We may not like the team as a whole, as a country. We don't like that giant star that he had on his helmet, but I've got to get Ezekiel Elliott here on this list since.
There you go. That was one of the 3. I'm proud of you. You made the right choice, honey.
Oh, shut it.
Those are some pretty damn elite years from Zeke from that stretch, and you really caught him before the decline came too. That was 2020-21 season, so this is right on the money.
Yeah, Zeke had more rushing titles than Marshawn Lynch.
But did he ever hold his dick? No, he did
not.
Marshawn Lynch
he
did.
He has the most iconic video for running back. Yes, but we're talking about for fantasy purposes for that. Zeke is there. I
technically never actually said that. This is just a 2010s running back draft. Maybe we're talking about the most clout, and that would be Marshawn Lynch in the tub.
Yes, maybe Marshawn Lynch should have been 13, Brian. Maybe we're Devonta Freeman. Just saying.
I mean, Zeke kind of saved the running back position.
He did.
Because there was a couple years there where it was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And, you had 1 or 2 guys who were busting onto the scene, like Devonta Freeman. Obviously, everybody loved him. But Zeke really gets drafted in the top 5 and is immediately one of the best running backs in the league. And we're pretty much all roads led to where we are now. So shout out Zeke.
I agree.
Hey, maybe we can get him on the show this year. He's not doing anything.
Retirement life, baby.
All righty, last 2 picks. Chuck, it's your last one, man. Who goes in this number 2 spot?
All right. So what does everybody have in their holster? Are we out of vetoes? Are we out of overrides?
I have no more vetoes. So this is this sticks. You could say Lamar Miller, I guess, and then we got nothing else to go off of.
Yeah, you know what? I just have to make this pick based upon who has a criminal history and who doesn't. So let's go with Lamar Miller here. I think that's going to be a good spot for him. I think that he's pretty clean. I think church attendance is pretty strong. I don't believe he was ever in the news for smacking his kid with a switch, anything like that. So Lamar Miller, let's sign him up. It feels good.
Maybe.
I hope it was good for you guys because it was good for me.
I should have put criminal. Right. Oh my God. Now we've got an intense name. We got a couple guys that aren't making this list now because of which
there's only one other name. There's 2 names left, and I have to pick the number 1, but it's clearly obvious who the number 1 is.
Which is kind of interesting. So that means we can blame you ultimately for leaving Shady off this list.
Oh yeah, clearly, because they'll say the names and they'll say Chuck and it says Lamar Miller at 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah. As much as this collaborative, Chuck, you are getting full acceptance. I mean, that is your pick there, buddy.
I mean, if you guys think that I wasn't stewing on that veto for the last 25 minutes, then you got another thing coming.
To be fair, I should have used my veto on Devonta Freeman at all things holy. So
yeah, there we go. But that's the domino effect right there.
Yeah. Well, the number 1 person, he was an MVP, offensive player of the year, 3 first team All-Pro selections, rushing titles, rushed for over 2,000 yards. It's AP all day. Adrian Peterson, man.
All day.
Number 2 should have been Shady McCoy. Just want to throw that out there for all the listeners. It wasn't me. Chuck is the criminal here. It was Shady. All right.
Wow, I would have taken Le'Veon Bell over Shady, honestly. But I guess as far as just putting in the chunk numbers year in, year out for the whole decade, I can see the Shady argument.
Yeah, I would have taken Le'Veon over Devonta Freeman.
I would have. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell was in that conversation for me. He was in that bottom tier. Shady McCoy actually has the most top 10 finishes in this decade over AP. He's got 6 finishes. Finished number 2, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 11. That's some dominance there, man. But it's like 14th dominance. Clearly not good enough for the top 13.
I think I can name 20 running backs over Devonta Freeman.
He had almost 400 more points than Matt Forte at number 2. I mean, when you look at just the pure volume that he was able to put up, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think legitimately I can name 20 other running backs over Devonta Freeman that deserve to be on this list.
Freeman. Okay, you put in
Ray Rice. I mean,
Frank
he was on
Gore
my
at
list.
3. Okay, you put Frank Gore at 4. Come on.
Frank Gore's nostalgia.
Are we taking D'Angelo Williams over Devonta Freeman?
Yes.
No, can you put down the crack pipe? This is a family safe show.
He was splitting time with Jonathan Stewart and was still good. Like, I mean, come on.
God. Look, I'm going to get Devonta Freeman on the show, and I want you to tell him how bad he is.
Who was the other guy that was on the Falcons that was he had thunder thighs?
Michael Turner.
Michael Turner's
a good one. A little Tevin Coleman, maybe even over Devonta Freeman, honestly.
Okay, all right. Now we're just piling on, just trying to be dicks here.
I'd put CMC over Devonta Freeman.
Oh, man. Okay, so where were you guys on CMC? Just because he had the best overall season in this whole decade. He was in my tier 2 as a player I wanted to slip in here.
I had him at 13.
I think I probably would have. Yeah, I would have had him probably where we had David Johnson, just because it's kind of like the same argument, only he did better, I think, with that 1 year. So, but also, I mean, I'm not ready to reward him with any positive praise after this bullshit that we've all had to go through these last 3 or 4 years. So I'm not healed yet.
Selfish son of a bitch. Goodness.
If I had 13, my name would have been Mark Ingram, honestly.
I had him.
It's a weird pick, but if you actually look at the numbers, he was really good.
He was in that bottom tier. I also had Melvin Ingram in that tier as well.
Yep.
Any other misses y'all had?
Ray Rice.
Yeah.
Is that Melvin Gordon or Melvin Ingram?
Melvin Ingram was the line,
Gordon,
right?
Yeah, okay.
Linebacker, yeah.
And then, of course, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. He really should have been on this list. If I known, I known Frank Gore was gonna be all the way here at the top, I would have slipped him in there at either 12 or 13.
I think guys that are near 30 or over 30 are going to be Frank Gore deserves to be on this list. Now, if it's kids that are under 20, they're going to be like, who the hell is that? And then they're going to be like, so I could see.
Brennen, I just think you hate dreads. I think you hate dreadlocks is what I think I'm taking away from this between.
I'm jealous. I wish I could grow them out, but I'm starting to bald a little bit. So you
just got to try harder.
No, that's why I'm always wearing a hat in my shows. Trust me.
I feel y'all. I guess any other misses y'all had before we close this out?
Not necessarily. I think we just covered them all in the post wrap here. I mean, the Ray Rice shout out was pretty good, but I do think that came at a weird time for him.
Yeah.
For me, the only other name that's iconic for one season was LeGarrette Blount. That would be one other name that I'd be like, all right, I kind of consider it.
That 18 touchdown season or whatever he had?
Yeah. And then another one, Darren Sproles. That'd be probably, but it's hard to put them over guys we have listed on there. So
Doug Martin was one of those interesting.
Yeah.
I did have Doug Martin too.
And Jay Ajayi was another one that I thought was just for one season, pretty much.
Jeremy Hill.
That's right. He had that one random year where he was picked in the first round or late first round.
Oh crap! And I forgot about Ryan Matthews. Plays for a team that's not even existing anymore.
Right.
Plays for San Diego.
He had more broken collarbones than touchdowns one year.
All right. And then, of course, I got to give a little shout out here to Trent Richardson, finished number 9 in 2012.
What about Jonas Gray? Jonas Gray in his 4-touchdown game with New England. Does that make
All
sense?
right, Chuck, you can go pound sand, brother. You can. And that was a Sunday night. That was a Sunday night game too. I remember sitting there. I'm just like, who the hell is this guy, and why is he just bending me over right now?
It's crazy.
Who was that Ravens running back? Alex something. I'm trying to think of what his name was. Or maybe it's Thomas Rawls. That's another one. I'm just the floodgates are open, people.
Yeah, no
Alex
kidding.
Collins.
Alex Collins. Thank you.
That's right. That was like a random
was
season.
just like a just revolving guest spots on teams for like 18 months and then never to be heard from again.
Well, folks, if you aren't watching here, you need a roll off of the final list. We have Adrian Peterson at 1. We have Lamar Miller at 2. We've got Zeke at 3, Frank Gore at 4, Matt Forte at 5, Adrian Foster at 6, Jamal Charles at 7, Todd Gurley at 8, David Johnson at 9, DeMarco Murray 10, Alvin Kamara 11, Chris Johnson 12, and that was it. Oh, Devonta Freeman at 13.
Yeah. Picked by who again?
Yeah, he got his own breath of air. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we can't thank you enough for coming to hang out with us for our 2010s RB draft. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing some wide receivers and quarterback drafts as well following this. Chuck, can't thank you enough for coming to hang out with us, man, popping around, giving us hell at the number 2 pick. But where can the people find you? Where if they're looking for more of you?
I'm over at Player Profiler right now, where you can find me on Twitter getting called every single slur in the book and in Urban Dictionary at just about any given moment of any given day. So looking forward to seeing you guys at the Expo. We'll be having a good time and just letting the fun flow. Shout out Lamar Miller. You're my boy.
Brennen, if people looking for more of you, where are they finding that?
You can find me on X at Too Much B Mulk.
And then it's at Too Much _ Brian if you're looking for me. But folks, we got to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Hit like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you later.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.